I'm Peter Lutzman, and we are here today to discuss another strategy for improving the standards of government. Today, we're going to talk about minutes of public meetings. Purpose of minutes of a public body. There are really three or four reasons for the minutes of a public body. And the first reason is for information. So the general public and anybody else who wants to know can tell specifically what took place at the public meeting, who was there, and how the individual members of the public body voted on a particular item. The second reason would be for proof or evidentiary purposes, that at some later date an ordinance is challenged or a permit or a permission that the public body granted an individual is memorialized or recorded in the minutes and perhaps the conditions that were imposed upon that license, permit, or permission. The third reason is a historical purpose so that people in the future can look back to see how and what the city did in years past. Now, let's look at the type of minutes that are available. Generally, there are, again, three types of minutes. One would be the action items. That would be the motions that were made, the person or individual who seconded the motion, and then the vote on the particular motion. That would not include any of the discussion or any of the banter that took place at the table during the deliberation towards the conclusion of that resolution. Second item would be the verbatim minutes, such as Congress. The United States Congress has a stenographer who records every word that is uttered in the halls of Congress. That, of course, becomes very expensive, very burdensome, and almost impossible to store. The third item in terms of types of minutes is what we call a hybrid, or a combination of the action items and the verbatim, where the clerk or someone else determines what are the important elements of the discussion and records those in the minutes in addition to the actual action items. That, of course, is fraught with danger because someone has to determine what is important and omit those things that are unimportant, and frequently that is subject to challenge by the various council members because everybody wants to be noted in the minutes as having said something profound. Now, what are the legal requirements for minutes? Take a look first to the state law to see if there are any requirements such as the Open Meetings Act or anything else that talks about due process and minutes. After examining the state law, take a look at the local charters, ordinance, or rules of the public body. They may address the nature, types, extent of minutes. And then finally, take a look at what is the best practice, what really informs the public, makes a accurate record, and is economical. Finally, take a look at what are the best practices regarding the maintenance of minutes. What is the method that best serves the public body? Is it a verbatim, expensive and burdensome? Is it a hybrid, subject to challenge and difficult to get approval? Or is it just the action items that are necessary? Those are determined by the local ordinances, laws, charters, and state laws. Generally, it will be the public body itself who will decide that the minutes and the nature of how the minutes are kept. Then we have to take a look at the availability of the minutes. The state law will require certain open records, and the local charter and ordinance also may require certain openness of the records. And there will be a time period by which the minutes will have to be prepared, a week, 2 weeks, or certainly within a month of the meeting. There may be some exceptions to the openness of the minutes, and that again is specifically provided by state law for certain confidential actions that the public body may take. And finally, let's not forget the safekeeping of the minutes. The public body has to ensure that the minutes are kept in perpetuity, kept forever, and that is best done by having redundancy in the record retention. In other words, that one set of minutes may be kept at the place where the public body meets, and a second set may be kept off-site at some storage facility. And electronic means should be utilized in maintaining the minutes because of the economies involved and the quick access and complete access to the minutes. And with that, we have another strategy to raise the standards of government.